Welcome to Fightmaster Yoga. I'm Leslie Fightmaster, and happy birthday to you. This is yoga for your birthday, which we've gotten a lot of requests for, and guess what? It's my birthday too. Today's the day. So we're gonna do yoga for your birthday together, and if it's not your birthday, do the yoga anyway. It's great to do yoga every day, birthday or not. So let's start sitting up nice and tall. Make sure you have a couple of blocks handy and a strap in case you need them. Sit up with your shins crossed, close your eyes, and let's get started. Begin to take long breaths in and out through your nose. And start your Ujjayi pranayama. So that little constriction in the back of the throat as you're breathing. As you're grounding down through your sitting bones, start to lengthen up away from the floor. Lift your chest. And draw your shoulder blades gently towards your waist. And now bring your hands together in front of your heart. And let's set an intention. May our yoga practice today give us strength and flexibility in our bodies and our minds on this special day of our birth as we celebrate the time that we've had on this planet so far and the time to come. And add any intention of your own that you'd like. Let's release the hands. Let your eyes softly blink open. And we'll come into child's pose. I'm gonna move my pillow out of the way. And just make it a comfortable child's pose with the arms extended. Let the crown of the head or the forehead rest down. If it will, you could also rest your head on your hands or on a block. And start to walk your hands forward so the wrists and the elbows come off the mat. And just feel how that starts to stretch out your spine. Continue steady breath. And then keep the hands just where they are, fingers spread. Start to press into the base of the fingers as you lift your forearms. Come up onto your knees. Tuck your toes. Keep your hands right there, don't let them move. Toes tucked under, stretch back into down dog and try to resist the temptation to walk your feet in. So your down dog's nice and long. And then for this first one, just move it any way you like. You might bend one knee and the other. Moving into the hips or the shoulders. Pressing into the base of your fingers, keep lifting away with the forearms. And draw in through the lower belly. Now just for a moment, bend both knees. Try to touch your belly back toward your thighs. Keep the buns up nice and high, and then start to straighten through the legs. Now pin the outer hips in. Turning triceps back, biceps forward. So today's class, I thought it would be fun to do some themes on inversions, because the longer we hang out on this planet, the more gravity takes hold of our bodies. So when we go upside down in our yoga practice, it's really good for our bodies, externally and internally. So take your feet about as wide as the mat and stretch back again. We're gonna hold this down dog a little bit longer than usual. And while we're here, I'm gonna send some down dog love to Yoga Mom. Hi, Yoga Mom. Yoga Mom's been commenting for a long time, and I haven't been able to comment back, some sort of glitch in the system. But recently I got to, so hello. Take a couple more breaths here. And now we'll just slowly walk the hands back to the feet. And come into a nice forward fold here, just a gentle forward fold with the feet a little bit wide, toes point in slightly, either hands to the floor or you can hold your opposite elbows. And then gently rock yourself side to side. Keep a little bend in the knees if needed. And then let the arms hang down. Lightly nod your head yes. And turn your head no. So we've been upside down already for a little while. Anytime the head is lower than the heart, it's technically an inversion. So let's come out of this very slowly so that we can let our body get used to that. Take a slight bend in the knees, bring hands to hips, and then with a long spine, we're just gonna come up with the knees bent, very slowly, slowly, slowly. And let's come to the front of the mat. Finding Tadasana with the big toes together and the heels slightly apart, or the feet hip socket distance apart, whatever feels more stable. Bring your arms alongside, lift your chest, let your shoulder blades release away from the ears, and firm your legs. As you inhale, sweep your arms up and then hook your thumbs here at the top. Pull your arms away from each other, but draw your shoulder blades down the back. At the same time, best you can, spin triceps forward. And then exhale, sweep the arms behind your back and interlace your fingers or hook your thumbs. Roll the shoulder heads back and start to reach your knuckles back, but without locking your elbow joints. So take a little bit of softness there in the elbows. And release your arms down. We'll do that one more time. So inhale again, arms reach up. Hook your other thumb in front. Again, draw shoulder blades down, pull the arms away from each other. So you're starting to engage these muscles here on the side. These are the serratus anterior muscles, which we'll use later. Lifting the chest, keep the belly lifted, the hip bones lifting up. Spin inner thighs back, reach tailbone down. And then slowly release again and interlace behind you, other pinky or thumb on top back here as well. Roll shoulders back and reach your knuckles back as your chest lifts. And breathe. Take another breath here. And release. Now let's warm up with some Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale and fold forward, hinging at your hips. Hips over heels, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, we'll step back to plank and lower, hug the elbows in, Chaturanga. Come all the way to the floor for this first one. Hands by the lower ribs, come to Cobra on your inhale. Pull the hands toward the feet. And then as you exhale, press up to your knees, tuck your toes, come into down dog. And then breathing here. And we'll stay in our down dog just a little bit extra today. As you press into the base of your fingers, lift up through your forearms. Continue Ujjayi breathing. And while we're here, let's send some down dog love to Charlene Abbott. Love you, Charlene. Take another breath in. Exhale everything out. Bend your knees, lift your hands in either step or walk your feet up. Inhale, come halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press through your feet, rise up as you inhale. Exhale to Samastitihi. Again, inhale, the arms reach. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back to plank. Chaturanga, knees can be up or down. You can go halfway or all the way down. Then inhale to up dog or stick with Cobra if that's better for your back. Exhale, down dog. So if you have discomfort in upward facing dog, then just keep your knees down. Gaze between your knees or feet. And do your best to spin the outer upper arms, your triceps back and your biceps forward. Take another breath in. Exhale it all out. Bend the knees, step or hop feet to hands. Then inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold and press through your feet and rise up on your inhale. Exhale, Samastitihi. And again, inhale, reach up tall. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you can step to plank, or if you hop back, land in Chaturanga with the elbows bent. Then inhale, press up. Exhale, stretch back. So you don't ever have to hop back or forward, but if you do, you want to make sure to do it safely. Keep pressing the weight up to the hips and down through the heels. For 3 more breaths. And 2. Take 1 more long breath in. Exhale it out. Pull the belly in, bend the knees, look up, step or hop feet to hands. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Exhale and fold. Pressing down, rise all the way up, inhale. And exhale to Samastitihi. So inhale and reach your arms up. As you pause here at the top, make sure to spin the triceps forward and the biceps back. So your palms will turn toward the back of your mat. Just let them turn back there for a little bit. Firm your legs and belly. Now, best you can, keep your arms in the same position, but flex your wrists. So wrists flexing, but spin triceps forward. Pull in the ribs and belly, and then imagine you're holding a block between your inner thighs. Take another breath here. This will come in handy a little bit later. And then exhale, we'll just fold over the legs. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, step or float back into Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog or cobra is always your choice. Exhale to down dog. This time we'll inhale, right leg up. As you exhale, bend your knee, open up your hip. Press evenly through the arms and shoulders. Now square off your hips, step right foot between the hands, and now walk your hands to the center of your mat. Then toes point in slightly toward each other. Pull the chest forward on your inhale and fold in on your exhale for Prasarita Tadasana A. Another inversion. Shift the weight slightly toward the balls of your feet and firm the leg muscles all the way up into your hip sockets. The crown of the head might rest on the floor, it might not. Lift your shoulders gently away from your ears. And breathe. Take 2 more nice long breaths here. And then come halfway up as you inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to hips, and with a long spine, come all the way up and turn your right leg out. And your back toes in a little line up, heel to arch, and bend the knee for warrior 2. Lift your back inner thigh gently, and make sure your knee's right over the ankle. Lift the chest, but let your shoulder blades relax. And now take your hands behind your back, either interlacing the fingers again or hooking the thumbs. Roll shoulder heads back, open the chest, inhale. As you exhale, come forward any amount. Keep pressing through the outer edge of your back foot, and then pull in through your belly and soften the elbow joints again. Let your head just hang. Take 3 long breaths here. Now press firmly into the front heel. Inhale, make your way back into warrior 2. Exhale here and reverse. Bend into that front knee. And then come on up, inhale, windmill the arms down, exhale. Make your way into down dog. You can go right into it or come to plank first and lower through Chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhale back. As you take your next inhale, we'll lift the left leg back and up. And then bend the knee again, open up the hip. Try to press evenly back through your shoulders and arms. Reach the right heel toward the floor. Pull your belly in. As you come to your next inhale, square off your hips. And exhale, step the left foot right in the middle of your hands. Spin your back heel down, then again, walk your hands to the right. Point your toes in just slightly. Lengthen on your inhale. Reach for your big toes if you can. And exhale, come forward, Prasarita Tadasana D. Now, if you can't reach your toes, you could also hold on to your legs, or you can just keep your hands on the floor. But check out where the weight is in the feet. If it's all in your heels, shift it toward the balls of the feet. 3 more breaths here. Release the shoulders away from the ears. Be sure to firm the leg muscles. One more breath. And then as you inhale, we'll come halfway up. Exhale, bring hands to hips. Inhale all the way up with a nice long spine. Then turn your left leg all the way out. Your back toes in slightly, lining up heel to arch. Inhale, arms up. Bend the knee, warrior two. Make sure the back arm is as high as the front. Knee is over the ankle. And gently lift this back inner thigh. So in some schools of yoga, they'll teach you to square the hips. But if you square the hips, your front knee, it's hard to keep in line. And if you really press hard to do that, you can hurt the knee or your back. So just lift the back inner thigh a little and enjoy. Enjoy a little softness in your warrior two. Take your hands behind you, interlace other pinky or thumb on top. Open the chest on the inhale and slowly forward. As you exhale, press through the outer edge of the back foot and into the front heel. Let your head hang down for 3 long breaths. Make sure to soften your elbow joints. Now press firmly into your front heel and inhale, come back in warrior two. Exhale here and reverse inhale. Bend into the front knee, exhale. And then windmill the arms down, make your way into plank pose. And let's pause here in plank. Shoulders above wrists. Lift the backs of your knees up. If you need to rest a little, you could take your knees down. Otherwise, keep them lifted. Pull your belly in. Gently lift your hip bones towards your lower ribs, but bring your chest forward. 3 more breaths. And 2. And then shift forward, slow chaturanga. Inhaling up dog or cobra. And exhale to down dog. Now we'll walk the hands again back to the feet. Feet hips width, outer edges of the feet parallel. Grab your elbows and hang. Gently rock side to side again. And then let your arms hang down and release your neck. And then looking forward, come back to down dog. Just walk yourself back out, just for a breath. Take an inhale here. Exhale it all out. Bend your knees, look up, step or hop feet to hands. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Exhale and fold. Press through your feet, rise up on your inhale. And to Namaste, exhale. So if you've got blocks, get them handy by the front of your mat. I've got my trusty bricks. You might want them. We're gonna move into half moon pose, so they're nice to have. On your inhale, first bend the knees, come to chair pose. Inner thighs spin down, drop your butt down. Exhale, belly to thighs, then straighten the legs. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, step or float back into Chaturanga. And then pressing up, inhale. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, first the right leg lifts. On your exhale, step it up by your right thumb. Stay on the ball of your back foot. We're gonna come into a high lunge first. So bend your back knee a little bit so you can tilt the pelvis forward. Pull the right hip back, straighten the back leg. Then hook your thumbs again. Reach up through the arms, try and spin triceps forward. Pull your arms away from each other, draw your shoulder blades down. Keep the ribs from sticking out by drawing them down and lifting hip bones up. Take another breath here. Now from here, we'll spin the back heel down and might need to walk your front foot over so you're lined up heel to arch for warrior two. And then reverse, inhale, exhale here. Now inhale, keep reversing but straighten the front leg. And on the next inhale, come on up for triangle. I like a shorter stance, so I'm gonna walk it in. You can decide if that works for you. Lean, lean, lean forward. Bring your right hand down to the shin, the foot, the floor, or the block. Reach through the left arm. Keep pressing into the big toe mound of your right foot. Now, reach the left arm forward on your inhale. As you exhale, sweep it down and take it behind your back. Either let it rest at the low back, or you might reach around and hook it onto your thigh, but roll the top shoulder back either way. Breathe here. So stretching out the shoulder. So we're gonna move into half moon pose. Try and keep this top arm wrapped if you can, this half wrap. Otherwise, you can release it. Hand to hip is a good place to start. Bend your front knee, pick up your block, take it in front of you, 6 to 12 inches, 10 centimeters-ish. Float the back leg up. Keep rolling. Oops, if you fall out of it, it's your birthday, so you can just come back in. Roll shoulder back. If it's too much, you can always reach the arm up. Now, reach the top sitting bone toward the heel. 3 breaths. And 2. Now we'll slowly, slowly find our way back to warrior two. So bending the front knee, you can release the arm, warrior two. Inhale here, make sure you're heel to arch. Exhale, windmill your arms down. Come to down dog any way you like, either through vinyasa or skip it and go right into it. Inhaling up, exhaling back. Now inhale, left leg lifts from the inner thigh. Keep the hips level this time. Exhale, step it up between, right by the left thumb actually. Stay on the ball of your back foot. And come up, bend your back knee for a moment. Tilt your pelvis forward slightly. Reach up through arrow straight arms. Now straighten through the back leg and pull your left hip back. So your hips are level, your pelvis is level. Then hook the other thumb in front and pull your arms apart as you start to continue spinning triceps forward. Make sure the ribs didn't puff out. Draw the front ribs down, hip bones up. Take another breath here. And then we'll take the back heel down. You might need to move your front foot over so you're lined up heel to arch. Warrior two. Knee over the ankle. Then reverse your warrior. Exhale, bend your knee. Keep reversing but straighten the front leg. Exhale here. Inhale up. Set up for triangle pose. Shorten the stance if you like. Hinge from your front hip. Reach, reach, reach out and down. Take the left hand to the shin, foot, floor, or brick. Right arm up. So ideally, imagine you had a wall behind you. Your front hip's touching the wall. Your back is touching the wall. Top hip is not. Press into the big toe mound of your left foot. out. Lengthen your torso. Now take your top arm, reach forward, inhale. Exhale, sweep down. And behind you to the low back or hook it on the thigh. Keep breathing here. Bottom ribs forward, top ribs back. Then once again, if you can keep this half rep, you'll keep it. Otherwise, hand to hip is a nice option as you make the transition, because it can get a little bit tricky, as you may have seen on the other side. Bend the knee, pick up your block. 6 to 12 inches or so, float the back leg up. So if you're wobbly, bring your block toward the wall that's behind your back some more. Your top leg, the heel and hip are about in the same line. And then reach this top sitting bone toward the heel. Make sure the leg is really firm. You can reach the arm up if you like, or keep that half wrap. Either way. The half wrap is just another way to stretch the shoulder a little. Remember, it's your birthday. If you fall out, just come back in. You can do whatever you like. From here, we'll start to bend the front knee. And we'll slowly find, you can release that rep if you have it, finding warrior two. Make sure you're still heel to arch. Take an inhale here. Exhale, windmill the arms down to down dog, any way you like. Exhale back. And then from this one, I'm just gonna take the knees down to the floor. But keep your hips just above your knees and then start to walk your hands forward. Bring your chest toward the mat. This one's called Anahatasana. Anahata is the heart chakra. So stretching the chest and the shoulders. But the trick here is, again, tricep spin down, bicep spin up. And then press into the thumb, first finger side of your hands. And then let's walk it back up. And we'll take the forearms to the mat now. So forearms to the mat, interlace the fingers, and elbows right under the shoulders, and then tuck your toes. This is Dolphin Pose. Press into the forearms, lift up through the shoulders. Then step back about a foot or so behind you with your feet, 10 centimeters, and bring your chest forward. Then lift the backs of the knees up, pull the belly in, and breathe here for 5 breaths. And 4, using our belly muscles, 3, and 2. Now walk the feet in, lift the hips up back into dolphin, and then come into child's pose for a moment. You can rest your head on the mat or on your hands. And then from here, I'm going to do it one more time. We'll add a little something to it. So interlace the fingers again. Elbows under shoulders. Come back into dolphin first. So keep pressing into the elbows and the forearms, but lift the shoulders away from the mat. Now pull your belly in. Step your feet back about a foot or so. And ripple the spine forward again into dolphin plank. This time, step your feet together. So there's a tendency to want to stick your buns up, but try to keep them in the same line as the shoulders, but then don't let them sag down. So lift the backs of the knees up. Squeeze the legs. Now inhale, right leg up. Just a little bit. One more breath. Set it down, squeeze the legs, left leg up. Just from the inner thigh. Set it down. Walk your feet in, lift your buns back up for dolphin. And then back to child's pose. Now, I forgot to mention that we'll use a wall today. So if you don't have a wall handy nearby, you can push pause, get yourself over to the wall. Or if you're not doing any sort of inversions today because of injuries or high blood pressure, glaucoma, monthly cycle, then instead I would recommend taking your block, if you have one, putting it at the base of your spine and lifting the legs up. And that's a great alternative. If you don't have a wall or you're not inverting, if you don't have a block, you can do the same thing. Legs up. Or you do have a wall, but you're just not inverting, you can put your legs up the wall. Otherwise, come over to the wall, and I'm just going to leave my mat where it is. I'm going to try this furry rug variation. Take your back up against the wall. Bring a block with you or something to help measure. With your back against the wall, and your legs in front, take the block to your ankle bone and just use that as a measurement. Now, actually my ankle bone's about to there. So wherever your measurement is, so put it on this side, that's where your hands go. So we're gonna come down so that your hands are right where your measurement was. Then take a short down dog against the wall. Actually, I'm gonna move my mat up just a little so my hands are on the mat. Short down dog against the wall. Then, tucking the toes, walk your feet up the wall. Now, spin your triceps back. And if that's not working for you, come back down into that short down dog and try it from there. Take a couple breaths. And then we'll walk back down. And first thing after you've taken an inversion to do is child's pose, so you don't get dizzy. So you can do that same thing again, or if you want a little more of a challenge, set up the same way. So short down dog against the wall, spin triceps back, biceps forward, press into the thumb first finger side of your hand, walk yourself up, but then only come, instead of all the way up, come halfway down into a pike position. So your heels and your butt are about in the same line. Holding here, pull the ribs and belly in a lot, and breathe. And when you're ready to come down, take a child's pose. So that pike position variation is definitely engages the belly muscles and it's more challenging. So you can play with both of those. Or if you want to practice kicking up against the wall, we'll do one of those as well. So if you're going to kick up against the wall, you got to face it. Give yourself about that much room between where your hands are and the wall, because you're going to look forward and you don't want to hit your head against the wall. So a couple things to keep in mind. Spin triceps back again, biceps forward. Then you'll step one foot in. I'm right-handed, so my right leg's a little stronger, so I use that one usually, but you can switch. Left leg up. Now don't open the hips, so lift the leg from the inner thigh. Now move your shoulders above the wrists. Bend the knee that you're hopping with, and lift. So you have to kick a little bit, but try not to kick real hard. So continue to turn triceps back, biceps forward. Keep your gaze slightly forward. When you're ready to come down, remember, child's pose first. So let's do that again. Or maybe you're still up, holding longer. That's cool too. Arms are shoulders distance apart, triceps back, biceps forward. Start with your down dog. Then walk your foot up that you're kicking with, the power leg, walks forward. Shift shoulders above wrists. Lift the opposite leg from the inner thigh. Don't let the hip open, it's going to want to. Keep your gaze forward, right where the wall and the floor meet. Bend the knee, hop. Spin triceps back, biceps forward. Pull your belly in, draw your ribs in just like you did in Dolphin Plank. Squeeze the legs just like you did in Dolphin Plank. And breathe. And now your internal organs are going wee because you've taken the gravity out of the picture for them. So they like it. Plus your spine likes it. Super strengthening. When you're ready to come down, split the legs, come down slowly, and child's pose. Now, if you have time and you want to do this some more, push the pause button. And I would also recommend that you do the opposite leg in front, just so you can kind of, it's super awkward, but just so you can kind of get used to keeping that balance, so that you don't get so connected to one side that you can't do the other. And every time you come down, be sure to take a child's pose. Good. And then, when you have finished, press play again, and we'll come, I got fuzzy stuff all over me, we'll come to downward facing dog. We'll take one more happy birthday vinyasa. Inhale to plank, Chaturanga, exhale. Inhaling up, exhale back, and then looking forward, come to seated step or hop, sit, and let's do some back bending. So lie back. So we did a lot of strengthening in the belly muscles, so now we'll stretch them out a little bit. So take the feet, fur everywhere, heels under knees, arms by your sides. Make sure the outer edges of the feet are parallel. Press into the heels, lift up. Roll shoulders under. Maybe interlace the fingers or hook the thumbs. Or you could alternately press the elbows down and fingertips up. Spiral your thighs in toward each other. Keep your chin away from the chest, lengthening the neck. And keep reaching your sitting bones toward the backs of your knees so that you create length in the lower back. To come down, release. Lower down to rest. Take the soles of feet together, knees apart. Put a hand on your belly and a hand on the heart center. Take a couple breaths here and just bring to mind your intention that you set on your birthday. Birthday intentions are just like wishes. Okay, so you can do another bridge pose, or if you want to take wheel pose, I'm going to do one wheel pose, so I'll walk you through it. Otherwise, you'll stay with bridge. If you're doing wheel, hands up by the ears, elbows point up. First, make sure the feet are parallel. Come to the crown of the head. Make sure the feet are parallel again. Line up wrists and elbows. Make sure the elbows don't splay out to the side. And then press. Keep reaching your sitting bones towards the backs of the knees. 3. Chest pressing one way. Sitting bones the opposite. 2. Now to come down. Chin into the chest. And then lower back down. Soles of feet together. Knees apart. Hand on the belly, hand on the heart center. And now breathing in here, think of something that you're grateful for today. Anything at all. We'll do one more back bend. You can do another bridge or another wheel, or I'm going to take supported bridge. So I'll take my brick and put it right at the base of the spine. So you could do that one too. And then we'll breathe here. Inner thighs spinning down still, outer edges of the feet still parallel. If you're all the way up in wheel, just take 3 to 5 breaths and come down. If you're in bridge, you can come down whenever you're ready. If you're supported bridge, let's take 5 more breaths here because it feels so good. And then coming down, supported bridge, lift off your block, lower back down, and then just hug your right knee into your chest and extend your left leg forward. Take a couple breaths here. And then switch them, left knee in, right leg forward. And then switch them again. Right knee in, left leg forward. This time, take your right knee across and twist. Look over the left shoulder. If that twist is a little too intense, then start to bend both knees. Otherwise, you can keep the bottom leg straight, the left leg. And then come through center, hug the left knee in, extend the right leg out, and now take your left knee across for the twist. Looking over the right shoulder, turn your belly up toward the ceiling. You can bend both knees if it's too intense to keep the right leg straight. And then make your way back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. And then we'll come into happy baby. So you can either take the little toe sides of the feet, or if that doesn't work, hold your legs. But lengthen your sitting bones toward the floor so you can stretch out your back. You can stay static, or if you like rocking side to side, that feels nice too. And then we'll slowly release this, and we'll make our way into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So extending the legs, let your feet just flop open, your arms by your sides, palms up. Reach your sitting bones toward the heels and your shoulder blades toward the waist. Keep the chin away from the chest, and then quiet mind and quiet body, Shavasana. Our quote today is from Dr. Seuss, a little birthday quote. Today, you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. where you are. Take a slightly deeper breath in. As you exhale, begin to make little movements in your fingers and your toes, and then your hands and your feet. And then reach out through your arms and your legs. Take a long stretch. And bend your knees. Roll off to your right side. And just pause here a moment. Think of one more thing that you're grateful for today. And slowly letting your head come up last. Use your left hand to press up. And then your right hand can help. And come into a comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra. It's a mudra of reverence. Bring our hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to the heart, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And the hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communication, sending out all of this wonderful birthday energy that we've created to all beings everywhere. Namaste. So happy birthday to you. And if it's not your birthday, well, thank you for spending my birthday with me. Regardless of what day it is, I hope it's a wonderful day for you, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.